Akazienzendo Podcast.
When there is no creator, there is no already created world. No already created world out there-ness. There's still creation. It's going on all the time. Unceasingly, unceasable. And for us humans, it is an in-here-ness. Even the given becomes an in-here-ness. Not an inherent out-there-ness, but always given to our in-here-ness, our renewing, our recreation, even our recreation. For us humans, it's a humaning in-here-ness. For us dragonflies, it's a dragon flying in-here-ness. For us carrots, it's a carroting in-here-ness. It's a different worldview from our familiar Western worldview. It's an East Asian yogic worldview, a Dharma world. Locations are different. Time and timelessness are different. Words are spells, not spellings. Words are spells, not spellings. We inhabit a mutable relationality, a mutable uncertainty. Constellations, but maybe better is campgrounds. Campgrounds where we live out the words of living. The world falls into fields, territories, potentials, constellations, campgrounds, radiant light. Yeah. Now something more like a poem. I gave you some flowers. Where flowers come from. Immeasurable stillness from the center of centers. I gave you flowers where flowers come from. I'm an immigrant in my own experience. I'm an immigrant of my own experience of this Buddha land. Do I harvest or do I plant and replant, reseed? Or do I plow, start over, kick the can up the road? Cut a few trees, sit on a stump, watch for rabbits or civilization. This is not canned Buddhism. This is the genie out of the bottle. Cassandra, unheard. Pandora's curiosity. The equivalency of hope. affinity of experience. Occasionally, experience takes over and drains the veins, tourniquets, blood thinners, or new blood, perceptual veins, awakening a new heart and renewing chakras, discovering the materiality and mentality. I wander in this intra-actionality. I wander in this intra-actionality, relationality, this field, finding footing and menting. Relanguaging the land. Like the desert does smell like rain. The desert really does smell like rain. Creating a new past, a future that can become a past. I'm an immigrant in my own experience. Yeah, I'm practicing at death's door. I'm practicing at death's door, and I hope you all are living at life's gate. Let me ask you, do they open on to the same path? An imagined hotel. Here we are at an imagined hotel. It's a beach hotel. We've pulled a couch onto the veranda. Where the hotel said we could meet. If you're sitting cross-legged, you have to brush the sand off your legs and feet. Some of you came this afternoon. But because we never really got started, you were bored and left. But it's hard to get started. To find the tune of a song you've never sung, to find the tune of a song you've never sung. And the song needs your tuning, your presence. Even in a disorganized situation, half social, imagined, and the other half not present yet. All of us somehow mentally unclothed, deshabille, but how are we going to get dressed? What shall we wear at this hotel? Robes? Buddhist robes? Or something that fits into the hotel, a tie, a summer jacket? Something which allows us to feel the other bodies. Here in this hotel, the mutual shared presence of all of us in the dark. Feeling them, the dark that allows us to start the song. We all want to sing and hear. Our bodies begin the tune we want to sing. Well, since one or two of you are back now, this afternoon's evening, I can get started. I can get started. The breath, an inhale, an exhale, an imagined grainy and grained field of breath. All of us. What to say at this imagined hotel? Finally with you. We are making space now in this imagined hotel with the dark of our bodies. The sequence of our breath begins the tune we want to sing. We want to sing, have been waiting to sing, a song still unknown, knowingly waiting for us. A few words here and there. A few words here and there. A call from calls for help. From calls for help. There's a table set somewhere. There's a table set somewhere for someone. A still steaming teapot. But I look around and I never find you. I do listen, but I don't know how to say what I hear. The periphery where I live, staring over the edge. Do I need familiarity? Do I need familiarity, landscape, and escape? To all those places which are gone now and gone with their caretakers. To all those places which are gone now and gone with their caretakers. There are more unseen worlds than seen. There are more unseen worlds than seen. Variously fetid and fated agented than the world itself. Maybe. Lived and lost, counted and uncounted. Let me continue with Dharma reading. Dogen wrote, and he meant it, who was even aware of the radiant light of the self. Think about that. I mean, feel about, set your own campground. Set your own campground on the radiant light of the self. I mean, Dogen was serious. He meant what he said. Who was even aware of the radiant light of the self? Even though people had, this is Dogen speaking, even though people had been carrying the radiant light within their heads and encountering it all the time, they still did not practice it as their own eyeballs. How could that be? What's he talking about? They still did not practice it as their own eyeballs. Materiality, mentality. Not separated. Thus, they do not clarify the shape and function of radiant light. Thus, they do not clarify the shape and function of the radiant light. Because they avoided encountering the radiant light. They avoided encountering the radiant light. Their radiant light was missing radiant light. Although missing is itself radiant light, they were immersed in missing. His topic is the experience of the construction of the self. So let me read, this is Kaz Tanahashi's translation. Let me read it again with my clarifications. Who is even aware of the radiant light of the self? Who is even aware of the radiant light of the self, of the radiant mind of the self-creating self? Of the radiant mind of the self-creating, of the radiant mind of the self-creating self. Even though everyone carries the radiant light of the mind of the self-creating self, of the mind of the self-creating self. Even though everyone carries the radiant light of the mind of the self-creating self within their own experience, The mind of the self-creating self is only noticed as unembodied experience. Thus, even though it is encountered all the time, nevertheless, it is not practiced as the physicality of their own eyeballs, their own materiality and world materiality. Thus, they do not clarify the shape and function of radiant light in the midst of their own experience. No. Thus, they do not clarify the shape and function of radiant light in the midst of their own experience. Because they were unable to encounter radiant light, their radiant light went missing as radiant light, did not function as radiant light, did not function as the radiance of realization. And thus they were only immersed in the unembodied missing. Okay.
Herzlichen Dank fürs Zuhören. Das war eine Folge des Akazienzendo Podcast. Wenn du deine Praxis vertiefen möchtest, bietet Akazienzendo eine Vielzahl von Meditations- und Kursangeboten, die dich auf deinem Zen-Weg begleiten können. Informationen dazu findest du auf unserer Homepage. Wenn du unsere Arbeit und unsere Podcasts unterstützen möchtest, freuen wir uns über deine Spende. Den Link zur Spendenseite findest du in den Shownotes oder auf akazienzendo.de.